Mariah Carey is one of those artists who's been around forever, and she's still known for her infamous voice and five-octave vocal range. She's hailed for inspiring generations of singers, as well as being a pioneer of pop and R&B music. And really, how many artists are there who become synonymous with the holiday season? Some call it Christmas season, while it may actually make more sense to call it Mariah Carey season. She's been dubbed Songbird Supreme by the Guinness World Records because of her special vocal style, her unique range, and more. There have been few artists that could give Mariah a run for her money. I'm thinking nowadays maybe Ariana falls into that category. Mariah's music style is considered pop, contemporary, R&B, as well as some hip-hop, but for the most part, she sings about love. Miss Carey is also one of the best-selling music artists of all time and was welcomed into the Songwriters Hall of Fame. Among her many other accomplishments, she's the most successful female in Billboard chart history, has won a ton of awards including 5 Grammys, and of course she's amassed a huge network over her long-running career too, which is estimated at $520 million. So for those of you who may only be familiar with her because of her Christmas tunes but want to know more about the story of Mariah Carey and her legendary career, or you just want to know more about her lavish lifestyle, mansions all over the globe, and the unknown details about her rise to fame, well, here we go. Mariah Carey was born March 27, 1970 in Huntington, Long Island, New York, to Alfred Roy Carey, who is of African American and Afro-Venezuelan descent, who worked as an aeronautical engineer. Her mother, Patricia Carey, is of Irish descent, a voice coach and opera singer. Her parents divorced when she was 3 years old, perhaps due to pressure her mother received for marrying a man of color. As young as 2, she began imitating her mom's singing and was given lessons starting at the age of 4. After graduating high school, Mariah moved to Manhattan where she worked as a waitress, coat check girl, and studied cosmetology while writing and recording in pursuit of a career in music, sometimes doing sessions until 3 a.m. as a 16-year-old. She wouldn't have to do this for long because at 18 years of age, her demo tape got into the hands of Tommy Mottola, the president of Columbia Records, and later Sony, who signed her on the spot and married her a few years later in a larger-than-life ceremony. As soon as Mariah hit the scene, she was at the top of the charts and at the height of her fame. Her debut album, Mariah Carey, had 4 chart-topping singles. Her second album, Emotions, shot to #1, as well as she debunked circulating rumors about her abilities as a performer during MTV's Unplugged in 1992. More success followed in 1993 to 97, but eventually the wheels would fall off her marriage and Mariah would become a popular fixture in tabloids for her public meltdowns, like that time she strip-teased for no reason in front of Carson Daly and the rest of the world. By 2001, Mariah had parted ways with Columbia Records, signing a $100 million deal with Virgin Records. Around this time, her relationship ended with Latin singer Luis Miguel. Following this, she left despondent and incoherent messages on her official website, and the tabloids labeled her suicidal when she was hospitalized with reports of slit wrists. This was during the promotion of her film and album Glitter, which is still widely regarded as one of the worst films of all time. And for her hard work, Mariah earned a Razzie for Worst Actress. How did the album do? Not good. It was also released on September 11, 2001, which wasn't the best of days. Following this, she walked away from Virgin, but still banked something like $28 to $50 million. She dropped another album, Sham Bracelet, which was also a commercial failure. She got into discussion with Eminem about a potential collab for the album, which resulted in her flying out to his house. M states the two kicked boots for 6 months, while Mariah will deny it until the day she dies, although she did make a music video and song about him. The Obsessed music video almost has this weird sense of foreshadowing because her depiction of Eminem in the video seems to be exactly how Eminem looks and carries himself to this day, so it looks like Mariah Carey may actually be a visionary too. In 2005, Mariah's sister, Allison Carey, who is HIV positive, has fought alcohol and drug addiction for years, was arrested for prostitution after offering sex to an undercover officer. Things picked up for Mariah in 2008 with her 11th album, E=MC². It debuted at #1 on the Billboard 200 and sold 463,000 copies in its first week. This is the biggest opening week of her career. It was during the filming of her music video, Bye Bye, that she met Nick Cannon. Looks pretty lovey-dovey, but apparently Mariah told Nick that she wouldn't have sex with him until they wed, which was genius because 2 months later, the two said their I do's in the Bahamas. In 2009, Mariah got to show her movie critic haters that they were wrong with her work in Precious as Mrs. Wise, a social worker for which she picked up some nominations and awards. She gave birth to fraternal twins, Moroccan and Monroe, on April 30th, 2011 via cesarean section. Next up was American Idol, but I guess with Simon Cowell out of the picture, someone had to be the hard ass. But the angst wasn't aimed at the contestants, it was between her and Nicki Minaj, as the two would often bump heads during their tapings. Keith Urban was probably ready to get back on the bottle. Her marriage to Nick didn't last the test of time when reports began circulating in 2014 that Nick had cheated, and then Mariah just came out and said it herself. Soon after, Nick filed for divorce. In January 2015, Mariah inked a deal to become the latest diva songstress to take up residency in Las Vegas. In January 2016, Carey became engaged to Australian businessman James Packer in New York City, but in October of that year, Packer packed his bags and they ended the relationship. In April of 2018, Mariah started opening up about how she was doing therapy and started taking medication, as she had been struggling with bipolar II disorder. She had apparently been diagnosed in 2001 when she had her public breakdown and had kept the diagnosis hidden from the media ever since. This brings us to today. Mariah is a legend, one who doesn't need to constantly keep putting records out to prove herself anymore. And nowadays, Mariah is pretty much guaranteed to get at least one hit song a year, and it might end up being the same song every time because the 1994 hit song, All I Want for Christmas Is You, has for the most part become the official anthem of Christmas anywhere. So much so that it actually re-enters the Billboard charts every December. Even in 2009, it topped the charts at #1 for the first time after spending 35 weeks on the charts since its release in '94, which also meant that All I Want for Christmas Is You is the slowest climbing #1 single in Billboard history. Billboard themselves named this track as the best holiday song of all time, and that title is pretty well earned. Along with 2 Christmas albums, the most recent being released in 2010, and 2 Christmas movies, including an animated children's film and live performance movie, I think it's safe to say that Christmas season belongs to Mariah Carey. Thanks for checking out this video. Subscribe if you're new to the channel and leave a comment for who you'd like us to feature next. Thanks! Good night!